let's take a look at number 39. This is a rational equation. It's kind of a very simple one, so it really doesn't flow like number 40 will. But let's go ahead and put steps down. And I don't know why, but at some point, I can no longer highlight with my mouse anymore. No memory issues or what? This is solving rational equations. Maybe I just don't know enough about Word. Our first step is factor all the denominators. And again, this is assuming we have something a little bit more complex than just a single x down denominator or a number. But we'll see that in a second example. Factor all your denominators. Figure out the LCM, least common multiple, of all the denominators. And multiply everything by it. Now at this point, our fractions will be gone, and we'll either have a linear equation or a quadratic equation. So this next one's kind of vague. Solve by using our, let me try. Okay, solve. And then if linear, everything's the first power, then we'll get rid of parentheses. Get rid of fractions. Now we get rid of parentheses with the distributive property. We get rid of fractions by multiplying everything by the LCM of all our denominators. Third step, get everything with an x on one side, numbers on the other side. And D, divide both sides by the number in front of the x. And our other possibility is if quadratic, I don't think you'd have x to the third or anything. That'd be a really hard problem. Then we want to get everything on one side, 0 on the other side. Factor. And set each factor, just factor, I guess. Never have put this in a test before. Then set each factor equal to 0 and solve. And what step was that? That was step 3. Okay, so step 4. Semi-check your answers. What I mean by that is make sure it doesn't cause a 0 in the denominator. So make sure it doesn't cause a 0 in the denominator. So let's go through these steps. See how they work for this problem. Like I said, this one's so simple that it won't work well. The tablet's hung up, so let me bring up another. There we go. Okay, 39. We got 2 over x. I need to put down the new paper on my little tablet here. 6 over 6x equals -5. Now this one has a little bit of a shortcut to it that I'm going to ignore. You notice how this is 6 here and 6 here? Those would cancel. You'd have 1 over x. And then since they have the same denominator, you could add them together and get 3 over x. And anyway, I'm ignoring those shortcuts. I like steps that work 100% of the time when I'm showing students, because they don't see those shortcuts all the time. Step 1, factor all the denominators. Well, again, this is so simple we won't need to factor it. Step 2, figure out the LCM of all your denominators and multiply everything by it. Well, we have x and 6x, so 6 is part of our LCM. And for the x, I'm looking for the greatest number of x's in a single denominator. There's one here and there's one here. So the greatest number of x's in a single denominator is 1. So our LCM will be 6x. And that's what we'll multiply everything by. We'll multiply it by the 2 over x. We'll multiply it by the 6 over 6x. And we'll multiply it times the negative 5. Well, these x's are going to cancel here. Those x's cancel, and these 6's will cancel. So we're left with 6 times 2, or 12, plus 6 equals 6x times negative 5 is negative 30x. 12 plus 6 gives us 18. No matter where you are in math, combine together numbers, combine together like terms. And that was step 2. Multiply everything by it. Step 3 is solve. Well, this is a linear equation. So we're at the part where it says if linear, get rid of parentheses, don't have any. Get rid of fractions, don't have any. Get everything with an x on one side, numbers on the other side. Well, everything with an x is here and numbers over here, so that's fine. And last step, divide both sides by a number in front of the x. Well, number in front of our x is a negative 30, so we'll divide both sides by negative 30. And those negative 30s cancel. And this actually reduces. 18 and 30 are both divisible by 6. So, and I'll put the negative up on top. So that gives us 18 divided by 6 is 3. And 30 divided by 6 gives us 5. So we got x is equal to negative 3/5. Now our fourth step is semi-check your answer. Make sure it doesn't cause a 0 in the denominator. Well, if I put negative 3/5 back in here for x, this would be 2 over negative 3/5, so 0 is not in the denominator. And this would be 6 times negative 3/5. I don't know what that is, but it's not 0, and that's the only part I'm really worried about. So our answer is negative 3/5, which would be A. So 39A. And that checks.